Hello everyone, welcome to another live hangout here at Voice Essentials. The last live hangout we will be doing in 2019. I am so glad you've been able to join us. If you are watching this as a replay, you too are welcome. We love having everyone join the show, whether it be watching it as a replay or watching the show live. Hello to all of you in the live chat, which is already going off. It is so good to spend the next 40-50 minutes with you all, and it's kind of a sad day because we won't get to see each other again for a couple of months. As I've been telling you for the last few weeks, I'm going to be taking December, January off, and I think that might actually be the way we do things going forward. Just to let the ground go fallow for a bit, let our creative juices refill, replenish, and so we can hit the new year off running. In fact, I'll just let you know, our first live show back in 2020. 2020. I mean, wow. The first show back in 2020 will be the Monday, the 3rd of February. Do you know what? My birth month is February, and I always, even as I say February, there's something about that word that I struggle with. It's the bruh, I think, in it, as my son would always say, bruh. Okay, if he ever sees that, he will be so embarrassed. Okay, so anyway, yeah, the 3rd of Feb, that's easier, isn't it? The 3rd of Feb, Monday. And just so you remember, it will be, the new live shows will be from 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And so just a heads up, the shows are going to start 1 hour earlier than they do currently. And that's just to accommodate our wonderful international guests that we have on the show, many of whom are on the East Coast of the US, and so to at least have them join us before midnight, I think, is the least we can do. So starting the show a little bit earlier in the new year. We're going to do a couple of things, well, a range of things. Today I want to talk you through some of the stats of the channel, because we all invest into this channel called Voice Essentials, not just myself, but you guys and gals, you all tune in every week, and so I just wanted to share with you how we as a community have been going, just give you some insights into the back room, if you will, to sort of understand, you know, how much we have grown in 2019. It really has been an exciting year. I mean, I had hoped to get to 100,000 subscribers by Christmas. Of course, we did that 18,000 subscribers ago, which is about 2 months ago now. So we have completely romped in the 100,000 subscriber mark. Anyway, I'll get to talking a bit about some of the stats later. Just a few other housekeeping things that we'll cover off on. And then we are going to answer your questions. For the last time in 2019, I will answer your questions to the best of my ability. But before we do, I've got an important little thing, and it's really a favor I want to ask of us as a community, ask you personally, and that is, you may have seen in your YouTube home screen, and you may not have, there's a thing at the moment called COPPA, or COPPA, COPPA. It's an American law that is being enforced upon YouTube and YouTube creators by the FTC, the Fair Trades Commission. Now, this is an American department, so and it's an American law, but I'm admittedly, this is very complex. But to boil it down, this is going to have a massive impact upon the platform of YouTube. YouTube have already had to fork out $170 million as a fine enforced by the FTC for breaches over a certain law, the COPPA law, I believe. And I don't know a lot of the finer details, and I've put some links in the description section below so you can later go and have a watch of, there's an explanatory video there, but there's also a link to a petition that I want to encourage you to consider signing. It's on change.org. Why is this important? Because firstly, I'm in Australia, and secondly, this does not really directly relate to my channel per se. This is about child-friendly or child-directed channels. This is going to affect mixed mode channels, perhaps. So this has an application to channels where they're gaming channels, toy review channels, animated children's channels. There's a whole range of things, channels that will be affected by this. And how it affects those channels is it removes, now on YouTube you have to nominate whether you are a child-directed channel. Now obviously Voice Essentials is not a child-directed channel. We are, and my statistics show this, that I am here for adult learners. And we use, here on the channel, we use big words and we talk about big concepts. It is quite obviously a channel directed at adults. So I'm not too concerned about the impact it might have on my channel, because I don't think it will have any, certainly in the immediate. But for those channels who do will be affected, if they don't nominate that their video is now how does it work? If they don't nominate that their video is child directed, they can be fined by the FTC up to $46,530, I think it is. It's massive. If most YouTube channels are like mine, and most of them are, they're run by single operators like me, and a fine of $46,000 would be life altering. It would be soul crushing, and not to mention budget crushing. Why does this matter to us? Well, the ramifications across YouTube are going to be massive. How massive? I don't know, and in fact there's a lot of people who know a lot more about YouTube on the platform who also don't know, but those same people are very concerned about the ripple effect, the far-reaching impact on this platform that we call YouTube, that creates and nurtures communities like ours. Now, again, I don't believe this is going to have any significant impact on us, Voice Essentials, in the immediate. But I do want to bring it to your attention. I think it's something that we need to be mindful of. And I want us to show some solidarity, I guess, for other channels who are right now are really facing what must be a very scary prospect of their channel no longer being a viable thing for them to engage with. Now, I dare say that I'm not the only channel that you subscribe to. So I want to encourage you to look at the links below. If you feel you can, sign the change.org petition. I've signed it. And let's send the FTC a message that we want them to really consider very strongly their position and thoughts on this before the cutoff date was actually, I believe, the 10th of December. Might be the 9th. Anyway, it's early December, and then these new laws and implications will come into action on the 1st of January. So for a big chunk of YouTube, this is going to be massive. And I really feel for people whose entire, in fact, there are people whose entire livelihoods are wrapped up in this. Mine is not, but there are people out there where this is a really big deal, and so anyway, at the very least, educate yourself about it, and so that, you know, should one of your favorite channels suddenly, you know, be no longer visible or findable or whatever, you'll know. So COPPA, COPPA, is what you want to go searching for. Thanks for listening to that. I thought it was an important thing that, given it's our last show for the year, to just mention it, because I wanted to get it in there before we finished up. Let's turn our attention to what has been happening here at Voice Essentials over 2019. It has been just the most massive year. I didn't realize it had been as big as it had been until I really thought back over the year and realized we've really squeezed a lot in. Do you know, we've had 46 new videos go up live onto the channel. Now that's actually not as big as the previous year, it must be said. I think I had over 200 videos last year, 2018. The reason we've only had 46 videos, 32 of those by mention were these live shows that we've done. This is the 32nd live video we've done in 2019. One of the reasons why I've had to cut back on, you know, the pre-record videos, etc., is because, of course, we launched. Oh, I can see. Oh no, we're good. I just saw that let me just check that our live stream is going okay. Oh no, that's okay. So I just saw a warning light come up that our live stream was a bit funny. One of the reasons why we've had sort of less videos over 2019 is because we launched the online course did it go live in March, April? I think it was April. So many of you have already enrolled in that, and you can see the link coming across the bottom of the screen now. If you haven't signed up for that, I'm really proud to say, so many of you who have signed up and have given feedback have been really lovely and generous in expressing your thanks for how it has really assisted your vocal development. So if you've been waiting and thinking you might want to do that, then I really encourage you to engage in that live in the online course, because it really has been doing some good things. The other thing that we've been doing, and in fact I might just excuse me, the other thing that we launched only a few weeks back was Voice Essentials 3. So if many of you know, we've got Voice Essentials 1 and let me get rid of this. Come on, Daniel. Oh, what happened there? Sorry, I've got stuff happening all over the place here. We already had Voice Essentials 1 and 2, and now we've just launched Voice Essentials 3. And so now we have over 50, well, not over, we've got exactly 50 exercises in the Voice Essentials suite. That ended up being a bigger job than I'd anticipated, in part because the last two tracks are harmony tracks. And so if you're interested in learning harmony, then Voice Essentials 3 introduces the learning of harmony. And it was a big job, everyone. It really was a big job. So we've launched an online course. We've got Voice Essentials 3 out the door. What a year. And the people that we've had on the live show, it has been just truly fantastic. I mean, we've just had some of the most amazing people. We had Melissa Cross on, we had Brian Gill, we had Jan Vanderstoel, who was just a scream. You can go looking all of these up on the channel. And, you know, some of the best stuff on my channel has been given to us by our live guests. And I'm hoping that we can continue that next year, and we'll get a whole heap of people onto the show for you so that we can continue to learn together, because I get so much out of the live hangouts when we have our special guests as well. I mean, I just seriously do learn so much as we go along. The channel has had this year, this is just this year, we have had 3.3 million views. 3.3 million views, which equates to 222,000 hours of viewing. That is mind-boggling. That's crazy. As I mentioned before, we got over the 100,000 subscribers to date. So this is only including up until today, the 25th of November 2019. We have had 56.7 thousand subscribers join us. So we literally have doubled in size our community here at Voice Essentials in 2019. That's equated to 88,000 likes on the videos. Now you might ask, well, how does that compare to dislikes? Well, we have had dislikes. You can't be on YouTube and not get dislikes. So that equates to only 2,482 dislikes. So 97.3% is like, yeah? So we as a community, I think that really speaks to what we're doing here as a community, that we are a supportive, encouraging group that is really nurturing this idea that it is the birthright of every human being to sing. And haters are going to hate. But at the end of the day, we are here as a collective to be supportive and encouraging, and that's fantastic. And the exciting thing is that the average duration of view during 2019 is over 4 minutes. So we're not talking about, you know, people just clicking it and then going, nah. Now there are those people that do that. But no, people are sticking around. They're enjoying it. They're learning. They're engaging, and so I'm really humbled by that. The top 3 videos, just so you know, was the voice types video, which only got launched December last year, 12 months ago. The difference, that's had nearly 600,000 views this year. The difference between tenors and baritones had 270,000 subscribers. And my Learn to Sing from the Diaphragm video has 175,000 views. Now, here's the thing, everyone. In the next few months, so this is our last live hangout for the year, but there will be a pre-record video that will go live the first Wednesday of December. Another one will go live the first Wednesday of January, which actually happens to be the 1st of January, so that's kind of coincidental. And then there will be a new big video about breath management. You know, my big videos, we put the special, you know, info animation in and what have you, with 4 exercises, including a new one in Voice Essentials 3, that will go live February the 5th of 2020. So keep an eye out for that, because I know a lot of you do struggle with your breath management, and so this video is designed to really help you with that. And you know, it is important. I want to assure you, I will continue in the new year to the best of my ability, and also, you know, notwithstanding the fact that things can happen in life that you don't know are going to happen. But all things being equal, I am committed to continuing to provide you quality education to the best of my ability, and that is free to access. That being said, I'm really grateful and thankful to those of you who choose to purchase the online course and the learning materials, the Voice Essentials suite of exercises, including the new e-manuals that we made available, because that financial input really does assist me to and empower me to continue doing these live hangouts on a Monday, and also to create new content for you to watch that is free to access for everyone. So if you want to support the channel, please, you can leave a super chat, that would be cool. But more importantly, I want you to have the learning materials, so make sure you take an opportunity to grab those. Let's see. One more thing. Oh, two more things. Song reviews. A couple of you have sent me emails asking for more information about the song reviews. We are going to do more song reviews in 2020. At least I hope we will. The reason I say that is because the only way I can do song reviews, live song reviews, is for people to participate. Many weeks ago now, we had Kathy Snyder on the show. Fabulous show. All of you have said how fantastic that show was, and that you want to see more. Well, I can only do more if more of you choose to participate. If you want to be involved in the live song review, just send me an email via the links, the description section below of this video, and I will send you more information about the song reviews, that we can perhaps have you on the show. That's right, have you right here on this show in 2020. One final thing before we get into our questions for today. I just want to say, on behalf of everyone here in the Voice Essentials community, a big thank you to Linda. Linda, full disclaimer, Linda is actually one of my private singing students. She lives 3,500 kilometers away from me, south. She lives down in a place called Hobart, in that little island that sits off the bottom of Australia called Tasmania. Well, she lives down there, and but Linda, you are amazing. We are all so grateful to you for how you collate our questions, which we're going to be able to participate in right now. Linda, every week, without fail, joins us. She moderates the live hangout. So too does Karen from Singwise. Thank you, Karen, as well, for moderating the live chats. But Linda, you are just a real blessing to all of us, and so I wanted to do a big shout out to you as a way of saying thanks. Hey guys, let Linda know how much you appreciate her in the live chat now, because we really need to appreciate those of us who go above and beyond, and no one has gone above and beyond for our community more than Linda. So thank you, Linda. You're a champion, and I look forward to seeing you in our live our next lesson. I think we've got 1 or 2 lessons before the end of the year, so we will see each other again soon. Okay, I think we probably should get to some questions, and we'll do that right after this. Okay, hey, what do you think of the new, this is not by design, but what are you thinking of the, see, I can't get it right. I can never get it right. What do you think of the new darker, panel here? Instead of remember the last one used to be sort of a light white. Well, the new YouTube thing has made it black, and I couldn't figure out how to change it. So black it is. I don't mind it. It looks all right. Let's get to some questions. Excuse me, after I deal with my lunch, which wants to revisit. Ronick Shrestha, how to remove a nasal voice when I talk or sing. My sound comes from my nose, which is often running. Ronick, the thing about nasality. Firstly, certainly in Western speech, so I'm talking mostly English spoken activity, but we can have, obviously, there's different accents around this, but there are certain sounds which must be nasalized. And something that I probably in my early days of my channel here, I didn't do well enough. Would that be the right way to say it? Something that I probably would want to stress a bit more, and that is nasality is not the bad boy on the street, because the facts are that certain sounds have to be nasalized. They can't be anything else. Where nasality can become a problem is if we have hypernasality by virtue of a really lazy soft palate, where the majority of our sound is being derived through the nasal cavity. The nasal cavity is a very rigid, unmoldable space, and therefore there's not a lot of change that you can do around the tonal coloring of sound that is directed through the nasal cavity. So that being what it is, we do want to go looking for the better option of twang. I do have a video, Ronick, on the channel around nasality. We talk about certain things, but one thing that you can practice around nasality, if you are really concerned that you are perhaps dealing with hypernasality, is to learn to sig with your, while holding your nose, and to actively look to remove any resonance that you feel through the nasal cavity and direct it through the mouth. That is going to cause the soft palate to have to activate, and for your airflow, excuse me, to the majority of your airflow to come through your mouth. So I would be encouraging you to do that. As far as the runny nose, I saw earlier in the chat that Matt had talked about, in the live chat, that Matt had suggested it could be a deviated septum. That could be the case. It could also be allergies. It could be that you have a nasal polyp. It could be a nasal fungus. There are a number of things that can be causing that. We here on the channel are not placed to diagnose. The best person for you to have that diagnosed by would be a ear, nose and throat doctor, who may have to send you for a CAT scan or what have you to map and see what's going on there. So that would be your best port of call. Matt, I noticed that you're asking for perhaps the first time in 2019. You saved it, mate. For the first time in 2019, you are not asking a question about low voice. Surprise, surprise. I was wondering how barometric pressure might affect the voice in general. And I saw that and I thought, do you know what? I don't think I have the answer to that, Matt, to be honest. I personally think there's almost certainly got to be an impact, because the thinner the air, then that's going to have an impact on the oscillation of the vocal folds. But I don't know of any studies that have been done on it, and so I would have to go looking and searching. I will keep an eye out for the answer for that one, Matt, but I don't have any direct answers to it other than my educated guess about that one. So I'm sorry, Matt, that your first non-low voice question, I don't know the answer. I apologize. Eric Dombrowski, I was told I was a baritone, G2 to B4, and anything after that was my falsetto, and when I try to hold a note, it bounces. It's an interesting way to express it. It is not a straight note, and I'm told my tenorish notes sound more like talking. I think I'm singing tenor notes, but my friend thinks I sound like I'm talking, not singing. Eric, I would advise you to, firstly, there's two videos I'd want you to go and have a watch of. firstly, I want you to have a watch of my, I'm trying to think which would be the best order. I want you to go and watch my voice type video so you understand a bit more about voice classification, because some of your rhetoric, some of your language and the way you're describing it to me there perhaps needs further clarification. The second video that I would want you to watch is my more recent big video on voice registration. And that will then give you, I think, some insights into the mechanics of how your voice works. And because it's interesting to me that you're talking about your higher notes sounding like you're talking, and that's the bit that I'm not completely certain about around what's going on there. Have a watch of those two videos. Just jump across to my channel and look for voice registration and look for, and it's the most recent one on voice registration, and look for voice types. Watch both of those videos in their entirety. And that's a thing, you know, if I probably have one frustration with people who engage with my material on the channel, it's that I often get comments, whether they are questions or statements about my videos, and yet either the question has been answered, but people don't watch the video in entirety, right? So they might watch 3 minutes of a 9-minute video. So the question gets answered in the last half of the video, or they make statements based on the title of the video or the thumbnail, and they haven't actually watched the video. Can I really remind everyone, with my videos being education videos, I try to make them entertaining, so they are ento-educational. Is that even? I just made that up. So they are educationally entertaining. But it's really important you watch the entire video, beginning to end. And that way you will really, you know, you may well still have questions. And some people ask really intelligent questions that I have not answered, or there's not been the clarity that I needed to put into a video. I'm always super happy to answer those questions, but but sometimes I do, I sometimes shake my head. Okay, no one. How is your acid reflux, Dr. Dan? Completely gone now? Actually, thank you, no one. My acid reflux hasn't been too bad. I have actually, it's what I've been really struggling with in the past, I would say 6 weeks, two months, is allergies. I don't know how or why, but my allergies have taken off, and we're almost certain that it's dust. So I'm getting incredible postnasal drip, very challenging to deal with. And if you're interested to know, I have been trying to manage that level of postnasal drip, which has been extreme, with a nasal spray and some antihistamine. I'm thinking that it's probably seasonal. We'll see. If it doesn't clear up over Christmas, it'll be off to the doctor for me. Ultra is asking, Dr. Dan, my lowest note in this moment is an A2, and my highest note is an F4 with my chest voice. With my falsetto, I can hit C6, but does that F4 mean that I am a baritone, or am I a tenor? I'm 14 years old. Ultra, at 14 years old, I would be very reticent to classify you vocally. I'm suspecting you are male, therefore you're talking about false baritone and tenor. So really, voice classification is not something we want to do until 16, 17, 18 is where we get to see where the voice has truly settled. Now, there are exceptions to the rule of, what is a very loose rule of thumb. So please, if you are a singing teacher and you're listening to this and you think, that's garbage, it's really important that we're generalized on the channel, because I don't have the student in front of me. But, I'm very careful to not classify a voice before they're 16, 17, 18. My own son, case in point, Jaden, he's just participated in our showcase. If you're interested, jump across to my Djarts site, djarts.com.au, and go to the live performances. Our student showcase video is up there. We had it Sunday week ago, which is why we didn't have a live show last week, because I was editing that video. And anyway, my son is in that show, and he's just turned 15. Now, I haven't said to Jaden, you're a tenor, you're a baritone, because he's just that little bit too young for me to start making that call. And besides which, I'm not overly keen for us to be sort of, constricting him to a certain sort of voice typology at this stage. There will come a time when that is really beneficial to him. In fact, he's just joined his school, the elite choir at his school, and they will certainly put him into a voice category for that task. But beyond that, I'm not so quick. So Ultra, I'm not so quick to sort of say what your voice type is going to be. I'm really pleased you put your age in there so that we could respond to that appropriately. Hello, Dr. Dan. My voice has a lot of airy sound, especially on high notes. How can I get rid of the airy sound and have a crystal clear voice instead? Amy, thanks for the question. When it comes to breathy sound, firstly I'd want to know, again, probably want to know what your age is. For teenage girls, especially through voice change, so basically for girls, the ages of 12, 13, 14 into 15, the voice can get a little bit breathy, a little bit airy, and that's because the structure isn't quite strong enough to bring the vocal folds together in a clean adduction. And so that's something to be mentioned. You can, looking for a cleaner sound, look, your upper registers are often going to be lighter, and they're often going to be a little bit airier or feathery. And so we can look to clean those up. I've got a video on the channel. You can go and search through the channel videos for how to sing less breathy, I think it's called. Really creative title, Daniel. And you can go and have a look on that. And I'm just having a look to see. I'm just seeing here, is Amy telling me what age she is? It hasn't told me. Okay. Anywho, so you can look to do some activities that cause the vocal folds to come together in a cleaner adduction. So you might want to check that out if you get a chance. Ruan Samrat Mukherjee Singer Tinsukia. I gave it a shot. I always give it a shot. I have completely got that wrong, I'm certain, but I gave it a shot. Ruan, hello Dr. Dan, I am a vocalist from India. Hello Ruan. I wanted to know how to increase my high notes, as my low notes are good, but how do I increase and improve my high notes? It's all about registrational balance. And registers are not only driven by muscle, they're also driven by resonance and acoustics, but they are definitely driven by muscular activity. And so it's a matter of building the muscles that drive your upper registers and searching for better balance. And so the fact that you are able to nominate that your low notes are good suggests to me that you've been spending quite a bit of time working those lower notes. So now it's time to start balancing the voice and working the higher notes. And the Voice Essentials 3 exercise collection have a range of activities throughout the 50 exercises that will enable you and empower you to do that. Lydia, I immediately thought of a Muppets sketch. Sorry. How can I build confidence to sing? I love to sing, but I'm too scared to perform. Lydia, this is a really very normal, I don't say this to trivialize what you're experiencing, I say it to normalize it. It's a really normal thing to be, a bit scared about your singing. It's a very vulnerable place to find ourselves, especially in a modern society that seems to think it's okay to differentiate between singers and non-singers, which is a complete, Western construct. It's, everyone is allowed to sing. Everyone who wants to sing should sing. And Lydia, if you want to sing, you absolutely should give flight to your voice. Your voice deserves to be heard. As far as building confidence around that, one of the key things to building confidence is developing technique. And the reason why that develops confidence is because it empowers your knowledge. Yeah, and the more you know, the more you can, be assured that you kind of know what you're doing. Now, that doesn't mean that, what you're doing is always as accurate as you would want it to be, or, for it to be, perfect. So, for example, again, I keep referencing my son. Jaden plays tennis. He, has tennis lessons with his coach. What Jaden's no longer lacking in his tennis is confidence. I just saw our stream button go funny again. I think we're okay. Jaden doesn't lack confidence on the tennis court any longer because he's been having lessons for so long and developing his technique for so long that he really does know what he's doing. And so, but that does not then mean that every serve goes in or, every point gets won. Far from it. But nonetheless, he is now confident. As you develop confidence because you've developed technique, that does not suddenly mean that every note will be pitch perfect or every lyric will be remembered, but it certainly goes a long way to making you feel more comfortable about those things. And then once you develop some confidence around your ability to sing and be comfortable about your own sound, then you can take that next step of presenting the voice to other people. And that's always an exciting step to take. So I encourage you to do that, Lydia. You've also asked, how can I develop a fast vibrato if that is possible? There is a vibrato activity on Voice Essentials 3 called Exploring Vibrato, and I'd encourage you to check that out if you get a chance. We've got a couple of, we've got no more questions coming in, which is probably a good thing because we are virtually out of time, I think. Because I will have to get to going to some getting to teaching. Can I just say, look, everyone, it has been a lot of fun this year. I have thoroughly enjoyed hanging out with all of you, and I am looking forward to the new year. I know I will come back in 2 months' time fully refreshed after the Christmas break. If you celebrate Christmas, then I wish you a blessed and merry Christmas and a happy and a safe new year. If you don't, then I wish you a happy festive season and hope that you're able to spend it with family and friends. If you're in the southern hemisphere, stay out of the sun. Here in Australia, our sun cuts. We are the melanoma, this is not a good thing, we are the melanoma capital of the world because our sun is so harsh. And of course, if you are in the northern hemisphere, then stay warm. I hope the snow and the cold doesn't get to you and your emotional well-being too much. I know it's hard for you guys up in the top part of the world to keep your spirits high through the darker months. But I am really looking forward to spending 2020 with you all. It has been a fantastic year, and yeah, I really hope that you continue to engage with us in the new year. As I said, I'm not going anywhere in the sense that we've got, before I see you next, there will be 2 more pre-record videos. Here's a hint. The first one, which will come out on the first Wednesday of December, I'm talking about vocal coach reaction videos. I've ummed and ahed for months over this video. Do I release it? Don't I release it? But I think it's a topic that we need to talk about. I know it is going to be controversial. I hope it's not taken in the wrong light, but nonetheless, it is something that we do need to... Oh, we've got one more question. Hang on. What? From Ira. Ira, you're going to get the last question for 2019. What are the most appropriate parts of the mouth anatomy to keep expanded? Whoa, what a question. I've been feeling my mouth and tends to collapse. You've got to get the tongue out of the way, keep the soft, be able to activate the soft palate for shape and the pharyngeal wall. Ira, there are exercises in Voice Essentials that will help you with all of those things, and I hope that's helpful to you. Just don't over-activate the jaw. The jaw can get too over-engaged, and when it does, then the tongue just gets lazy. And so make sure you're working the insides of the mouth, not necessarily, Muppet-like. I think we'll call it a wrap for 2019. Please like the video, share it onto your socials, let people know when the next video is going to be go live, which is in a week and a bit's time. Hey, and don't forget to go and check out the description section video thing about COPPA. Really important. And sign the petition if you feel so led. I hope you will. I look forward to seeing you in the new year. Well, actually, you'll see me, but I won't see you. Know what I mean. I'll see you soon. Have a blessed and Merry Christmas and a happy and a safe New Year. I'll see you again. It won't be that long. I'll see you again soon. I'm Dr. Dan. Sing well.